It's so sad watching a bunch of folks wringing their hands and gnashing their teeth over immigration, like it's the downfall of their very existence. They scream, "They're stealing our jobs," and about so-called mass immigration, or use derogatory terms like Singh Hortons. I can pretty much guarantee that over turkey dinner this past weekend, there were a bunch of conversations around white dinner tables about how immigration is ruining Canada. So let's do a reality check. Let's humor these mouth breathers and imagine a scenario where they got their wish. Overnight, every non-white person disappeared from the country. Poof! What would that Canada look like? A country that looked the way some people said they wanted it to. The real Canadians, as they call themselves, finally have their Canada back. Only now there was no one left to run it, because they stopped having enough kids a few generations ago now. The hospitals still stand, but the halls echo with empty footsteps. Because half the doctors are gone, a third of the nurses too, the PSWs, the orderlies, the cleaners, vanished. Long-term care homes turned to tombs overnight. The crops in the field rot. The trucks that carried the food sat idle. Not enough people to drive them. Restaurants went dark. Construction sites still stand, but half frozen, half built, like skeletons of a country that thought it could live without hands. They didn't realize that almost all of Canada's population growth comes from immigration now. Without newcomers, there's no one to replace the aging, the retired, the gone. Within a generation, the population starts collapsing. Within 2, the economy follows. GDP falls by at least a third. Tax revenues dry up. The social safety net unravels because there's no one left to hold it in place. No one to pay the taxes that keep hospitals running, pensions funded, schools open. They imagined purity. What they got was emptiness. A country made only of the old and the bitter. A museum of ghosts who once called themselves patriots. They watched as towns withered. Universities shut down. No students, no future. Tech firms closed their doors. Research labs went dark. And in the suburbs, the silence becomes unbearable. They thought immigrants were taking their jobs. They never understood immigrants were the ones keeping those jobs alive. They thought real Canadians built this country. But the truth is, it was always being rebuilt every single day by the hands of people who believed in it enough to come here in the first place. Without them, Canada didn't grow stronger. It didn't return to glory. It just stopped. The borders closed and the blood stopped flowing, and the dream they wanted, the one that was only for them, turned out to be a nightmare no one could wake up from. So when someone says, "Go back where you came from," maybe they should think about what would be left behind if we ever did. Because a Canada without its immigrants isn't Canada at all. It's just a flag flapping over an empty country. So whenever you hear someone screaming and crying about immigration, know that what they really want is to destroy Canada. They aren't patriots. They're seditionists. And to those people I say, if you don't like how this country is built, feel free to immigrate somewhere else. I hear the U.S. has a thriving market for seditionists. You'd probably fit in a lot better there. Peace out. And if you're not already following me, you should. It's going to be a ride.